Welcome back. Fulham 1, Leeds United 0, right at the dead. Craig, how we doing, mate?
It's a point. But, hey.
I'm going to try and be positive as much as I can because it's football. It happens. I don't think we deserve to win that game. I don't think Fulham deserved to win that game. I think a draw was the right choice. Not the right choice. The right outcome of the game, I should say. But Kevin changed the game, and what a player he is.
Yeah, I mean, he did. But anybody could have won that game. It could have gone either way. First half, we were by far the better team, and if anything, I think we deserved something from it because, I said the same. A draw would have been a fair result. To lose in that manner was horrible because I don't think they deserved that. But I mean, it came from unfortunate circumstances as well, didn't it? A bit controversial that they thought they had a throw in, then it went to us, and then we got the throw in. They got the throw in given to them when we were just about to take it, and then a corner resulted from that, and then I know it's you're nitpicking at if this happened, if that happened, but the throw-in was given to us, and then for a corner to come from that, and then them to score from it, it's just in that manner, it was awful to see. But yeah, a draw would have been fair.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is why Farka was crying out that we need extra width or another striker, a bit more creativity off the bench because. Yeah, when Fulham are bringing off their record signing, okay, he's just signed for him, and he literally tore us apart when he came on. And then we bring on Harrison. It's the contrast between the two players are just miles. I mean, or James, who unfortunately then got injured. So it is a tough one to take because of it's right at the edge, but right at the end. But it's not Farka's fault, and I'm still seeing it online. The amount of people that are saying Farka out, Farka's tactically inept, Farka should have done this better, or how can we compete if we've got no creativity? I mean, we had 10 shots to their 6, so we still created chances.
That's what I mean. It bugs me because it makes me think like the first thing when I see comments like that is like, what game were you watching? Like, if it weren't for that moment, it's a 0-0 draw, and Farka's got another clean sheet. Like, so in 4 games, he'll have got 3 clean sheets. It's not his fault at all. Like, we competed. We were the better side in the first half. Like, there's no doubt about that. And we had chances. Calvert-Lewin, free header straight at the keeper. And it might have been a surprise, like, that it came to him and he didn't have time to, like, in his mind, I mean, he didn't have time to, like, put it in a corner because maybe he was surprised it came to him. But he should have done better from that chance. You know what I mean? Either side of that keeper, that's a goal. And then Aronson had a shot on target that, it were directed on target, but there were a couple of times where wrong decision maybe. Stack made a couple of wrong decisions in where to pass the ball or who to pass it to. Overall, we could have scored. We could have won that match.
I mean,
on another day, Calvert-Lewin scores that goal. Like, it's one of those. But I guess people who don't like Farka, they don't like, for whatever reason. I mean, he's got the highest points per game of any Leeds manager in history. So it makes me think that it's just anybody that's got an agenda against him are always going to wait for. As soon as we lose a game, that's it. It's Farka out. But they'll not say anything when we win. So
you'll think though as well. If it wasn't for Darlow in goal, it could have been more as well. I mean, they had Muniz straight at the keeper, like saved it. He knocked it onto the post, saved from the free kick. that was a beautiful save. Again, it's one of those things that keeper should save it kind of thing, but unless you're in that position, he also kept us in the game as well. So yes, the point would have been a result, in my opinion, but it's just one of those things that it's at the last minute, and you could blame Strauch, you can blame Rodon, you can blame Goodmanson because it came off his head and where it went in. These things happen as well. Kevin could have scored beforehand anyway if it wasn't for Darlow's save anyway. And then all you're going to be doing is saying what a goal that is. And bit of skill, took it past top corner, which unfortunately I did say on our preview video, no doubt that Kevin will come off the bench, do something like that, and probably go in for the winner. So kind of glad that didn't happen, but
yeah, it was just an unfortunate goal. Like, I feel bad for the lad because up until that point he had a blinder of a game.
Yeah, he did, kept him quiet. And again, that's what I kind of like with our new signings. I know we haven't seen Bijol yet in the league. More compact now. We keeping it more solid. We're harder to break down. Even Silva said that at his press conference that we're a team that's hard to break down, and they were kind of running out of ideas, which is what you want. And if we can keep that solid foundation, okay. I understand the whole we're not creating chances, but we are. We're just not finishing them yet. As soon as Dominic Calvert-Lewin finds his boots, or Perot, or Mecha, or someone from the wing like James, Nonto, Okafor, Aronson puts in a couple goals, then I think we're going to be all right. But I'm happy with what I saw today. I don't know about you. If guys in the comments, if you're watching, listening, let us know in the comments if you're happy with how we played. I know obviously the point it's not there anymore, but I take it you're happy with how we played, Craig, overall?
Overall, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm happy that we can compete. I'm happy that we're not getting rolled over. If that makes sense. That it's we look like we're in the game. And I know people will go, yeah, but we've got battered against Arsenal. I mean, they just battered Forest 3-0. It's a different kettle of fish when you're playing sides like that, and they can do that to anybody on the day. But you look at the league table, Wolves haven't won a game. Aston Villa, not. You talk about us not scoring. Aston Villa have not scored in 4 games, right? Man City, if they draw tomorrow, they've got basically the same stats as us, apart from the goal difference.
Same points as us. And at this exact moment in time, Brentford are beating Chelsea. So anybody can beat anybody in that sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's not over and done with. Like the thing is, it's not all doom and gloom. We can compete. We just need to find ways to score a goal. Like that's the only thing. And what I did like today is like Calvert-Lewin from the start. So when we were playing them long balls up to, they were winning headers and knocking them down. And I was just begging for someone to feed off that. It's like, and we nearly did at one point where Longstaff had a cracking shot, and it fell perfect to him. But if Calvert-Lewin's going to be winning the headers, you need someone to be ready for the knockdown or where it's coming from. I know that'll come in time. You've got to think Okafor's brand new to the team. Calvert-Lewin's brand new to the team. It's got to, it will come together, and Farka will get right. The last 2 seasons that we've had Farka in charge, slow starts. They're always slow starts. Once he gets that team playing together, the international windows are over and done with. And I know that it's to say that, but we need the points. We need the points. But if we can keep it tight and compact like that, halfway through the season is when Farka picks up. He starts picking up, and I know we can't afford to, do that as much this season, but it will come good. I believe it will come good.
Yeah, you got to think as well. We were playing with a 2 in the middle last season and 1 just behind, like 4-2-3-1, and this season it's a 4-3-3. So we have switched up the style and the tactics of play. And that is to be more competitive in this league, which is what you need. Because if we only played 2 centre mids and 1 number 10, we're being rolled over left, right, and centre. So it gives us that stability in midfield.
Well, before we kicked the ball to get today, most people would think we're going to get rolled over against Fulham. Like we're going to be struggling,
Yeah.
and we didn't. Same against Newcastle, and we didn't.
Same against Everton.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's only Arsenal where it were a struggle, and for periods in that Arsenal game, we weren't that bad. So
No.
it's like I say, what I'm looking at is we can compete, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not overly down about this result as what I normally would be because I'm trying to be level-headed and more realistic about the fact that we're going to lose more games and we're going to win games this season, and that's what we're here for. So if you do like positive-ish spins on stuff, then carry on and subscribe, basically. But let's get on to what people are really here for, the player ratings, because I know a lot of people love those. Right, let's just go on to Darlow, mate, because I thought, again, decent saves, kept us in that game, collected the ball from corners, from crosses, which, again, what you wanted. Obviously, you had to come in because Perry's injured. What did you make of him today?
It was fantastic today. It were brilliant, and it shows what a good keeper he is. And he can, if he can do that consistently, he's going to be pushing Perry for a starting spot because that were a really good performance from him today.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to say it's probably the best goalkeeping performance so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you had Perry, even if you had Perry in the net, I know that people say if you had Messi in the net, you probably would have conceded more today. But if you have Perry in the net, it's like, does he save that free kick? Because it were it came off a deflection off Strike's head, so it changed direction as it was coming towards him, and he got his hand up and do it. So even Perry, does Perry save that? Does Perry save the shot from Kevin? Does Perry, you know, Darlow's
Yeah, it's all if buts and maybes when it comes to, oh, would this have happened or would this have not happened? I can't go any lower than an 8 for him, and I know that goal that we conceded was really harsh. Had he kept a clean sheet, I'd be praising him and giving him a 9.5, 10.
Yeah. But that's it. It's just the goal he conceded at the end. It just
Not his fault.
It's not his fault, but up until that point, yeah, you're looking at a standout performance. Like you can't take away. So I'd say probably an 8.5. I give him that just for the saves that he made.
I'm still tempted to go a 9. I'm going 9.
8.5 for me. It was that free kick that got it for me though, because it took a deflection off strike,
Yeah.
and so he had to adjust, and it was a brilliant save.
Right, let's go on to Bogle, who will be pushing for an international call-up. I'm going to say this every single time. He's just up until Kevin coming on, he held his own and he done really, really well. But what would you rate him today? And what did you think of his performance?
See, I'd probably go as high as 8.5 for him as well. If he'd have got us a goal or created a chance for us, like an assist, I'd have probably gone higher because he was fantastic today with Bogle, and he is going to get an England call if he keeps playing like that. He's just getting better and better. And for people that said he's not Prem quality, like Sheffield United fans when we bought him, that you'll see what he's like in Prem. Well, thanks a lot because he is fantastic. And I'm going to say it again that if we struggle for having some creativity and we lose James for a while, I'm not opposed and not against having James Justin playing and Bogle pushed further forward.
I mean, Bogle likes to get forward. We know this. He can get back and track back as well. So it's not the worst thing to put Bogle's a right mid, right wing and do what.
He was taking their left back on like a winger today.
Yeah,
He's something different, but he's good with his feet, and he is one of the most. I don't want to say most creative, but it's probably the wrong words. But he is creative. He's a creative player when he's in that final third.
Also, our second most tackles done as well.
Yeah.
I'll get on to the most tackles in a bit when we get to him. But again, it's what I mean by Bogle. He's just everywhere. And yeah, 8.5 as well. The only thing that let him down was the fact that Kevin did tear him a little bit. But then I said to you how good Kevin is before. I said it last episode when we had Matty on Fulham fan that he is going to excite them a lot because of what he can bring. And I'm annoyed that he actually did that little step over, little dummy flicking cross that he does or shoot that he does. But yeah, 8.5 for him. Right, let's go on to Rodon next, mate.
Give me 6.5 or a 7. Maybe a 7.
Really?
Yeah, there were a couple of times where if passing were again, when he passes it out to Bogle and he knocks it too far in front of him, but he passed it straight out, and like for the goal, I'm not going to put him at fault for it. I'm not going to say it's Rodon's fault, but he kind of I think that's what put Goodmanson off and made him not realise that the ball would come to him, because I think you were expecting Rodon to just head it, and this is where I think would be all have just attacked that and headed it away, which is uncharacteristic really from Rodon, because he usually does attack the ball when it's there, and that's what I expected from him. But there are a couple of things with him today that I just thought. But I think maybe he's just come back from an head injury, honestly. Whether his head weren't in the game or not properly, I don't know.
I mean, he won the most aerials in the whole game anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. He does what he does, but there were a few mistakes in him today.
Yeah, when you really, really needed him right at the last minute, you just wanted to get rid of it, and you just unfortunately didn't. So what are you rating him?
I don't know. Is 7 too harsh? 7, yeah, 7.
7.5.
Yeah.
Right. Pascal next, mate.
Yeah, 7 as well.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Anything of note about him, or just a 7?
I think wrong place, wrong time a lot of time. Like it was his head that got that deflection, and I expect more from him. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind Bijol coming in for next game, but we'll wait and see. I mean, we've already said that Farka likes to bide his time with players anyway. Obviously, we know that Okafor's had to come in, but again, that's injuries and the fact that there's nobody else. So again, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's probably been rushed in too quickly.
Yeah.
But certain players, he does like to take his time, and it will work out in the end. Right, Goodmanson, unlucky with his own goal, but held his own at left back, especially when Traore came on as well.
It was fantastic up until that point. I mean, even that way, he tried to chest it down, and he just kind of controlled it with his chest instead. And then he just took it round Traore and just and he couldn't keep up with him, and that's Traore that couldn't keep up with him. It was fantastic today. Though defensively, brilliant, and even going forward, it was good. So yeah, I'd give him an 8. I'd have him as high as, because I thought him and Bogle were the best players for me in first half, and I thought I'd probably give him the same rating as Bogle if it weren't for that little mistake at the end. Not his fault, but
Yeah, I'll go for an 8 as well. Let's go. I'm going to go Statch first, mate. What did you make of him today? Because I'm just going to put this out there. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews when it comes to Statch.
I've seen people say it today, slate him, saying that he was rubbish and he weren't, he weren't very good. But for me, he was good at his defensive work, which is what he was bought for, and that's his main game. But he's playing in that more box-to-box advanced role where he's the one getting forward. I know he's created the most chances for us this season, but I don't like him in that role, because when he gets into that final, just outside the area or running towards, he delays a pass, or he makes a wrong decision to pass to. Whereas if you've got someone like Pablo Hernandez, for example, or Rutter, they make the right pass in that position,
Yeah.
and at the right time. Whereas Stack tends to not know what to do with it, and then he'll either lose it, it'll be a bad pass, it's too late, and I think that makes that side of makes him look not very good in the game. But defensively, what he's there for, fantastic.
Yeah.
But he can't take a free kick. I'll say that. He can't.
First man, what is he doing?
Yeah.
I don't get this, right? Tallest player, one of the tallest players on the pitch, taking your set pieces.
Well, the thing is, Goodmanson was taking all the corners, which I liked. I thought,
Yeah.
I don't mind this. And then the Stack takes free kick from that side of the pitch as well. I'm like, well, that's begging for Goodmanson to play a ball in from with his left foot, so it's an in swinger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. I'd give him a 7.5. I think.
I was only thinking 7.
Yeah, well, 7.
I'm going to go for 7. Like I always say, let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. And yeah, like I say, football's a matter of opinion. Everyone sees the game differently. So let's go on to Ampadu now, mate. Talk me through it.
Good to have him back. You can tell when you've got Ampadu in that team, it just ticks. It ticks a lot better. See, the way that I'd play 4-3-3 is I'd play Stack and Ampadu as two holding midfielders and Longstaff in front of them to do the running, because them two, I think Stack needs to stay back a little bit more and just progress run when he can, but release the ball earlier to someone that can find that final pass. It's just the way that I see him. But yeah, Ampadu, oh my god, he just makes his team tick. And
again, another player that fans have said, and pundits as well, saying that he's not good enough for the Prem and being relegated 2 or 3 times from lower league sides. But again, stepped up.
Yeah, he does. But this is what I mean. He does. And I remember when we played Sheffield United in Premier League, and he were there, and he was good then. Like
Yeah.
I thought he was a standout player for them then. Ampadu is just going to get better and better. I think people might forget that he's young. He's still very young, and he'll grow. And in this team, I think he's found a home, hasn't he? Because he's been out on loan all the time. Whereas at Leeds, he's our boy, and I think he's thriving under Farka. And I think he's got that confidence. That Farka's got that much confidence in him, and shows faith in him. You can see it on the pitch, and yeah, you can tell the difference when he's out of the team. You see how much we miss him. So,
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, comes back up for him is Gruev. So there is a difference between those two players. And
I'd give him an 8. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And say he's just come back from injury.
Yeah. But it was only a little bit. I know it was an MCL, so I know all about knee injuries and how long they can take. I mean, tore my ACL and I'm out for 2 years and stuff, so I know exactly how injuries, especially ligaments in your knees, can take. Right. Mr. Longstaff, who the position that is up for grabs between him and Tanaka now. I don't see Tanaka starting all the time now, and I don't see Longstaff starting. It's a case of who's going to make their claim, and I think depending on which game we play, who's going to start.
Yeah. Well, what did I say at the beginning of the season?
Yeah. They're not guaranteed starters, and then
that's it. Longstaff's performances in the last couple of games, it's going to be hard for Tanaka to get back into that team. As much as I love Tanaka, it's going to be hard for him to get back into that team. Because, again, like Ampadu, Longstaff is becoming an important part. He brings a different game. The thing is, he brings a different style of game to what Tanaka gives you. And as much as I love Tanaka, I think Longstaff's got more energy. He covers more of the pitch. Or he seems to do. And I don't know, if he could have capped his performance off with a goal today, I mean, that shot, it was.
Hit the didn't he?
If that had gone in though, I mean, Jesus, that were a rocket. I think, I'd probably get. You know what? I'd probably get Longstaff an 8 today.
Yeah. Also made a couple tackles as well, everywhere on the pitch. I'm really enjoying it, and like I said, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast or if I just said it in passing that he's going to be an underrated signing, a bit like what Joe Rothwell was for us last season in terms of everyone like stuffed their nose at it, and then when he puts in performances, everyone's like, going, "Yeah, great, he's a baller." And Longstaff is a very underrated player, and I think he always has been. But then when you're playing for Newcastle and you got three of the best midfielders in the league, you're going to be down in the pecking order, and that is just what football is. It's a dog eat dog world.
Yeah,
There's always someone better than you, and when you've got that team like Newcastle that have got all these good players in that position, you're going to be sold. And then I guess then it comes down to our fans online saying, "Well, we've got Newcastle's cast off. Why do we want him? He's not good enough for them. Why is he good enough for us?" You have to think that we're not at Newcastle's level yet. We've just been promoted from the Championship. We're a newly promoted Premier League side, and Longstaff in this situation is a good signing, and he's a great player.
man. I said it at the beginning before the season started that when we signed him, I was like, I mean, for 12 million, it's a snip for a
Yeah.
start. And I said, but he's good enough to go to any mid-table Premier League team.
Oh yeah.
Let alone a newly promoted one. And the facts are, he'll shine for Leeds. He were underrated. He's always been underrated, and Newcastle fans loved him when we spoke to him. They love him,
Yeah.
right? And it's in this Leeds side, he'll be a main man in midfield. He'll be a main player. Like he'll shine. People see how good he actually is. And the facts are, if we got relegated, he'll not be at Leeds next season.
No, definitely not.
He'll stay in the Premier League. That's how good he is. And yeah, but I'm looking forward to him, driving us forward and helping keeping us up.
Yeah, I'm also going to give him an 8 as well. Let's go on to Brendan Aronson next, mate. Let's hear your thoughts on him today because we all know how much you love him.
Yeah.
Anyone who's new listening to this, if you haven't listened to us before, Craig is Aronson's biggest fan, so we're going to let him take the stage on this one.
It weren't that bad today, but yeah, the only thing I'm going to criticise him because I can't not. But
You always do, mate. You always do.
But every time I watch him, I just think, yeah, you asshole players, you get stuck in and you give it a go. But he did it again today numerous times. It's that shuffle that he does. It's like I just think to myself, it's like watching a Sunday League player playing that's just been put in Premier League football. And like, people are not going to fall for this, mate. Don't do this side to side thing. Just do what go for what you're supposed to be doing. But yeah, he's frustrating at times. But I don't like him. I know people said that he played well. And I went to watch that game against Villarreal. People said that he played well as a right winger, which I didn't think he was fantastic as much as what other people said he was, but he did all right. But today showed that he's not a right winger because he was too central a lot of the time, which gave no width. And when Bogle's going forward, he had no one to play with. He had no one to pass to. Which is why I thought when Dan James come on, it changed a little bit. It made it a bit more better. And same when Nonto were on there, it got better. And that's the only criticism I've got against him. Like his positional play is a bit.
I'm gonna do you one better, mate, and you know my feelings on him. My critique of him was he had the ball. I think it was the second half, and he dribbled across the pitch, and all in my head was, "Don't do it," and I knew exactly what he was going to do before he'd done it. He literally just passed it. He was trying to pass it to Okafor, I think, but it wasn't hard enough pass. It went straight to their defender, and I'm like, there we go. And then they start counter attack. I'm just thinking, there it is. There's that Brendan Aronson we all know and love that will just give the ball away easily. But again, flip that onto the praises I like to do. Most amount of tackles in the team, but again, yes, that could be the fact that he lost the ball and then tackled and won it back, and vice versa. And I know stats can be misleading. We all know that. But
the thing about he gets away with stats though, doesn't he? Because he will not stop. The
he
one
runs
good
and
thing
runs
about it will not stop. So his statistics always look good.
unless it's the ball dispossessed,
Yeah,
which we worked out last season. Most in the league, especially at one point in the league, by a good 80 plus. He'd been dispossessed more than anybody. I cannot speak today, so I do apologise for that.
You can forgive dispossession though, can't you? Like if you do something with the ball when you have got it. Like for example, Rutter.
Yeah,
He got dispossessed a lot. Like a lot of these attacking midfielders, like the flair players like that, do get dispossessed a lot. But
yeah,
it's what they do with the ball when they have got it. You know, when they don't get dispossessed, is higher statistics as well. Whereas Brendan's statistics are all tackling, running. You know,
yeah.
so it doesn't even out with being dispossessed because he gets dispossessed, then he'll run back, then he'll tackle, but then he'll not do anything with the ball. So,
No,
and it's like I said to you last season when it gets on end a tapping and it's like, oh, he scored, so that makes it look good for him that he scored. You know, and he nearly did it today. He nearly scored today, but
what would you rate him then?
I give him a 7 because I thought he you know, he put himself about.
I'm going 7.5 for him.
I'm not going as high as that. Yeah, I'll
No,
tell you.
I know you won't.
There was one particular part in game as well where where he went out wide, he got the ball, and he stopped with the ball, whereas a natural winger would have took that left back on because he was stood still.
Yeah, but again,
And
he's not a natural
Aronson
winger. He's
stopped
not.
it, and then he lost the ball because he tried some kind of skill to try and get past him with his little shimmy.
But then Bogle had it where he had it on the touchline, and he literally held the ball, and then all of a sudden he walked back, dribbled the ball out for a throw in. So again, it was one of those days. Right, let's go on to Okafor, mate. What did you think of him today?
I think we saw flashes today that he is starting to show what he can do. I think his sharpness just needs to come a little bit more, and
Which it will.
yeah, a few more, like get some more game time, some more minutes. But this is why I'm not so worried. That we're not creating so many chances, like we're not scoring so many chances because it will come good. But you saw little bits of him today that I think his pace seems to be a little off. Whether he's actually not as fast as what I thought he was.
I think he obviously injuries, and he was a doubt last game because of an injury. So I think it's just his niggle. Obviously, you saw him take on their right back Tete, I think it was, and then did a decent cross in. So he's got that in him.
Yeah,
But again, there was just nobody there, and it's
just,
one of those games.
there were a couple of times where it were 1-on-1 with that Anderson, and I was just expecting him to knock it past him and run. And I thought,
Yeah,
has he not got the pace that I thought he'd got? Because, like, in my eyes, like, say you're looking at Ramazani, for example, I'm not big in Ramazani, but I just know that this is the type of style that the way that he'd have took him on, or even Solomon.
yeah.
Solomon would have just. There were a couple of times where he got the ball, he's 1-on-1 with, and it were Anderson, and Anderson's not that quick. It had just been as a winger, you knock it past him. There's space behind, knock it past him, run onto it. But he'd lost start a couple of times to him, like he couldn't get round him, and I'm like, is that due to him just not being match fit? Is he really not as fast as what I thought he was? I don't know.
No, he is quick. He is. I just think it is the fact that it's a new environment, it's a new league, and again, match fitness, being injured a fair bit, obviously not last game. So That's what I'm putting it down to do.
Yeah,
To do as well. I've watched him a fair few times anyway. Like when we were interested in Aronson, I did watch a fair bit of them, so I know what he's capable of. And yes, I know it's a completely different league to the Premiership. So
well,
we'll
I
just
mean,
wait and
like I
see.
said, jury's still out on him but I think he will come good. You could see it today
Yeah,
that he's got some quality in him. So
7,
yeah,
7. Right, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mate. What would you rate him today?
I'd give him 7.5. I think, like, but a high end 7.5, close to an 8. I thought he was fantastic. Apart
He was
from
unlucky not to score.
apart from not scoring, which he should have done better there. I'd have expected him,
Yeah,
but I'm going to put that down to he's not played for a long time. So
match fitness again, sharpness. Yeah,
sharpness,
yeah,
yeah. So that will come. Just because I know from playing in that kind of that position, I know that comes in time. The more you play, so yeah. But other than that, he's all around like out of the strikers that we've got. I think he's the best option for starting because win the aerial duels that he wins,
yeah.
he don't lose many, and the knockdowns, like I said to you earlier, the knockdowns that I saw today from him, I was looking at that and thinking, I'm just begging someone to be on the end of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go 7.5 as well. Right, which leads us on to the substitutes then. So Jack Harrison and Metcha, mate. What would you rate them today?
Probably 6.5.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing special. Like for me, when Mecha came on, I thought, right, is he gonna do something? And then, like, I think he chested it down. Did he chest it down to Aronson? And I thought, why don't you just take that on yourself?
Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
but yeah, I think it was Aronson that chested it down to. But there were points in like towards that latter end of the game that I was thinking, I'd have, if it's only fitness, like would Dom have stayed on? Because I thought Dom were better. Like I don't see no reason why they took him off unless it's just due to his fitness and he's got 70 minutes under his belt now. Let's
Yeah, it's got to be. But again, that we're just seeing it from our point of view.
yeah.
So obviously the board, the manager knows it, and so does Dominic himself. Will know what he can put in. Right, Dan James. I mean, only on for 10 minutes, so it's a bit of a tough one to say. I don't know the full extent of his injury. Have you heard or not,
No,
mate?
but it looks like it's what they call them. I bet you it comes out that it's something to do with is it adductors?
I think, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah, I bet it comes out as something like that because I saw. Do you remember the part where he got the ball, ran through, and got a free kick for us
yeah,
right in the middle, and he went down holding his side because that's where he got knocked
yeah,
in his side, and he was holding his side, and when he pulled up, it's the same place that he was holding it, and I thought he's had a knock there. And he got injured, like his injuries last season were his adductors a lot, weren't they? And I think
yeah,
it's them group of muscles that's. But yeah, up until I think even the 10 minutes or so that he were on, he made a difference. He was lively. He got us that
yeah,
free kick. He got us further up the pitch. And this is what I said to you into it earlier that I think this season Dan James would be more of a weapon coming on. Like I can deal with playing Aronson for first half just to tire players out and wind them up, or even Nonto, and then you bring Dan James on for the last 20 minutes or last 30 minutes and run him into the ground because last thing a defender wants to do after playing an hour of football is facing up to Dan James.
yeah. I mean, again, this is why I take what I'm seeing online with a pinch of salt that they're not good enough. Well, I mean, we questioned it last match review. Are they Premier League quality or Premier League ready? It's a tough one because Premier League defenders are a lot better than Championship defenders, especially the fullbacks. So, I mean, they had Sessegnon on today, who I am actually a big fan of Ryan Sessegnon. I think he is a quality left back. But when you're coming up against these fullbacks, they're a lot better quality than what you're playing in the Championship. So, of course, certain players aren't going to look as good or as sharp as last season. So you do have to remember they have to take time to adapt to the league as well.
Yeah. Plus, I mean,
But
thing about Dan James is it's progressive. It's progressed every year. Like he's got better and better in his game.
yeah,
He's improved, and the only way you can see if he's improved, he's like good enough for Premier League is give him a chance. You know, like you don't have to give him 90 minutes a game. But the thing is, you've got to remember he's been carrying an injury. He's not. He's being played because there's no one else to play in that position. So you've got Nonto, yeah. You've got Aronson, you've got Nonto, but that's why Aronson's playing there because you've not got no Dan James, and he's been carrying an injury. Even Farka said he's been carrying an injury, and like he's not really wanted to put him in, but he's had to.
Yeah.
And a fully fit Dan James, you can tell it's not Dan James. At the first few games that we've seen him, you can tell it's not the Dan James that we know. You saw flashes on it today in that 10 minutes because he only had that, but it improves every year. Like I said, Man U wouldn't have signed him if they didn't think he was good enough. But I mean that's not really a barometer to go by, is it? Because they're shit.
I mean, they are now, but then, I mean, even his record there, I don't think he actually lost a game
Yeah, but
while he was there anyway.
But then he were on loan, and Fulham wanted him on loan, and when they went to Premier League, so he's had like he's done well in the Premier League. You've just got to give him the time. But like I said, he's a different Dan James because, like I said to you, last match or the game before, in the Premier League, you don't get that space in behind because you don't get the high line. Like we're not playing counter-attacking football, and you're not getting that high line of defenders because and Premier League defenders are quicker, they're stronger.
Yeah,
they're not. And when you're coming up against a player like Dan James that you know is going to beat you for pace, you're not going to give him that. You're going to stand. You're going to stand off him. So you've got to run on him. But in the Championship, it's completely different. He's just got beaten any defender that's playing in Championship. So it's a different ballgame.
He's still ranked top 3 for quickest players in the Premier League so far anyway. On average, I think it was, or one, his highest sprint is the 3rd highest in the league. So
yeah,
it's still there, even though he is carrying an injury. And I mean, Farka's already come out and said about Harrison, Aronson, and I can't remember who the other one, about how they were in the Premier League. Obviously, they got relegated with them. So we do have to give him a chance and do have to give him time. But again, I'm trying to see it from a level-headed point of view here and not bashing on Farka and the players and such. But
well, there's no point in bashing on them because they're doing well for a newly promoted team without the tools that we want. Like, well, I say what we want as fans, but even Farka wanted extra attacking options. So
yeah,
to be in a place where he is, and he's like he said, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to stick with what I've got. And it shows how good a manager he is. That if it weren't for that freak goal today, that's 3 clean sheets in your first 4 games in Premier League. I mean, when was the last time that were done?
Which is more than what the last 3. I think we either equaled it or were 1 away from what the whole of the 3 promoted sides got last season anyway.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That when was the last time a newly promoted side kept 3 clean sheets in the first 4 games?
I mean, have Sunderland done that this season?
Yeah, that's right. But us and Sunderland, I mean, when was the last time that happened?
Yeah,
I
didn't know if
I'll bet it's a while.
Yeah, I mean, have they? Obviously, they kept a clean sheet today against Palace. They conceded last season. Oh no, so they've only had 2 clean sheets as well. West Ham game and today. So again, it's one of those. Still, it's better than last season. So it just shows that all these pundits and stuff that are automatically straight away, all these 3 sides are going down, may not actually happen. But What would you rate? So Dan James then 6.5 for me.
I'd give him a 7 because I thought he was better than Harrison and
No,
Metz.
that's fine.
So,
And is there any point in rating Nonto at all, or are we just going to go NA for him as well?
I don't know. I'd probably give him a. You know what? I'll give him a 6.5 as well because when he came on, Aronson had a tough time, didn't he? But against Kevin,
Yeah.
helping out Bogle. But when Nonto came on, he stopped Kevin a couple of times.
No, that's fair enough, mate.
So I think he deserves 6.5.
No, that's fine. I'll agree with you on that one then. Right, we will leave that there. Thank you all for listening as always. Quick one though, Craig. Score prediction for Wolves next week?
1-0. I think we'll actually score from open play.
That's fine. We might be back with a preview for that as well, so keep an eye out on that. But if not, guys, we will see you next week for the Wolves game. Thank you all for listening. Craig, thank you for joining as always, mate.
No problem.
Leeds.